thank you so much for joining us. We're at Myrtle Wombat right now in Brooklyn, New York City. I'm here with Madam Susan. And could you tell us a little bit about your sauces here?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My name is Susan Chen, and I'm the founder of Madam Susan Sauces. I aim to create versatile Asian flavors that could be used in both Asian and also Western dishes. I have 3 products right now. I have my chili crisp with 20 different spices and aromatics. I have my Japanese miso sake umami sauce, and I have a Sichuan dipping sauce, your best friend for dumplings. And today we've actually been sampling my mapo tofu made with both my chili crisp and my Sichuan dipping sauce.
Here we go. So we are going to have a look at your mapo tofu, which is being held by Mike right now, who is your assistant.
And also my
And
husband.
your husband. Alrighty. So can you tell me a little bit about your origin stories and what was the initial thought that, led to the creation of these sauces in the first place?
Absolutely. So I love to cook. That's been my passion to start. Starting with my family, my grandfather. I was born in China, so that was where things started. But also, I'm influenced by my life, and I've lived in 5 cities across Canada and also in Texas before coming to New York. And I got involved with the Burning Man organization because I needed a creative outlet. For those of you who don't know what Burning Man is, it is one of the largest festivals in the world held in the Nevada desert, where there's a culmination of arts, music, culture, and it is put on by, unlike other festivals, not like Coachella, it's put on by the participants. You yourself are doing all the things to make the festival happen.
Yeah, I did not know that it was mostly organized by the people themselves. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Which is very inspiring because I think at this time it is cool to see models of individuals that are working together to collaborate and develop a sense of community from the grassroots level and figuring out ways to do that logistically, providing resources, sharing resources, developing, systems for that so that we know how to take care of ourselves.
Absolutely. I learned so much. And one of the roles I played at Burning Man was running the kitchen, which supplied all the food for our camp. I fed over 200 people a day in the desert, and I ran the entire logistics system behind it. And part of that was doing things that could be done ahead of time to make our experience on what we call the playa, the desert, as smooth as possible. So I made sauces to ship out there through our logistics chain ahead of time. And my friend who was working in the kitchen with me said, "Have you ever thought about bottling these?" And that's when something just clicked in my mind. I'm like, okay. And a little while later, now down the line, I have created a sauce line and I'm looking to do more with seasonings and spices.
Right. So what's your next idea for a sauce, if you don't mind me asking? A little sneak
Sure.
preview.
So I've got some plans for this year. I'm looking to do a dry version of my chili crisp without the oil because it gives it so much more versatility. If you're not adding oil, that you can add it into soups, you can sprinkle it on. There's just the dry content itself. I'm also looking to perhaps do a line of where I have all the different spices in the chili crisp, but omit the hot chilies themselves for people who perhaps don't want heat or situations where you don't want heat. So those are all things I'm exploring and doing my research on right now.
Right. Okay. Wow. See, you're the person that I would go to if I ever want to learn about spices and the different levels, but also the duration of the lasting effect of the spice on your tongue. Because that's stuff that I'm curious about myself, like what the difference
Scoville.
is. Yeah, this is like a whole
Rating system.
This is an entire system. Yeah.
It is. The Scoville rating system is from 0 to 1,000,000 plus units, and then they stop counting after 1,000,000 plus. That's your like scorpion, your ghost pepper territory. I don't go up to that territory. My products do punch heat, which I noticed trying a lot of other chili crisp products on the market. I thought they were usually of 2 categories. They either lacked heat or they lacked depth and complexity. which is what I try to bring with my product, is it's warming. It has the floral and the numbing sensation of Sichuan peppercorns. It has a savoriness of fermented Chinese black soybeans. It has a whole amalgamation of spices that create a lot of complexity. So when you get the taste, you get a lot of that upfront flavor that's not heat, and then the heat actually comes on the back end. There's almost like a 2-second delay, and then it lingers, it peaks, but doesn't get any hotter than that. So that's one of the things I try to do, is to create heat, but not overwhelming. And it doesn't, and it won't stay with you indefinitely.
Right. Okay. This is awesome. Thank you so much, by the way, for answering that question. I don't really know a lot about it, and this is why I'm here with you to ask these questions. One of the cool things about this time of the year is that it's the Fire Horse celebration for the Lunar New Year, and perfect timing to have you here because you are the spicy sauce lady that we
What was the
that we know.
you had a phrase before? Saucy.
Well, I mean, I could be a saucy mama,
Saucy
you know, the sauce lady, whatever you would like to call me.
Sauce queen.
Sauce queen,
Yeah.
exactly. But yeah.
The madame. Yeah, that's right. Which is fitting. Yeah.
Pimping out
Yeah.
spicy sauces.
Yes. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, one of the things about this, it's funny that you say that because you can add chili. This is something I did not know until we met with we brought together, I guess, you and Kim from Nine Treasures Creamery.
Yes.
And
she's
you
lovely.
can indeed mix chili with all sorts of stuff. Sweets. I didn't think to do that. Like put chili crisp onto ice cream.
Absolutely. And we should make a sample of it to
Right.
show, because it's always, you know, when you want to taste things, you want to taste things.
Yeah.
I think one of the reasons why my chili crisp also pairs well with sweets is because of the spices I use. The spices I use, like cinnamon, cardamom, star anise, fennel, cloves, also have applications in desserts as well.
Right. Okay.
So they can go both ways, savory or sweet, and that allows for extra versatility.
Got it. Okay. So yeah, versatility, as in it's not an overpowering sensation, right? Like flavor wise, but also the heat that it's packing.
So it works well. Like it pairs, and I would say collaborates with the sweet
Collaboration key.
with the sweet taste, as well
Yeah.
as the savory foods that you put it on.
Perfect. Okay. So I actually am curious about, you mentioned earlier how your Sichuan dipping sauce has, is it the Sichuan dipping sauce that is working with some of the influences from Texas that you know where you grew up?
It's both the Sichuan dipping sauce and the chili crisp.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Traditionally, Chinese style chili crisps. And
Thank you,
before
Kim.
we go into that, I'd love to show those folks of you on camera. This is Nine Treasures ginger ice cream with a dollop of my chili crisp on top. And I would love for you to try these.
Thank you so much. I wasn't expecting this. Oh,
And you tell me. So, I
Here we
mean,
go.
the proof is
One-
in the taste, right? That's how it works with food.
Okay.
So my chili crisp actually uses smoked guajillo and chili de arbol. Those are two
Cheers,
spices.
Jen.
And I have
cheers.
to thank my mother for that, because I have to thank my mother for giving me
party
the
time.
suggestion on the spices, because we lived in Texas and we had access to a lot of Mexican grocery stores. And while, you know, I have so much respect to urging Tao, Cao Tian Jiao, and all the traditional Chinese peppers, Mexico is really the birthplace of capsicum, of peppers. And specifically the guajillo and the chili de arbol, I like the combination because the guajillo adds depth, smokiness, and almost chocolatey flavors. And the chili de arbol adds a fruity citrus note on top. So it gives a different quality than your Chinese peppers, which are also wonderful, but it's just different. And that's one of my big differentiators in how I make my chili crisp.
Well,
and
yeah,
my Sichuan dipping sauce.
You can taste the difference between this and what is a brand, would you say, that is quintessential Sichuan chili crisp that Americans would have had, having shopped around?
Funny enough, the quintessential household brand of chili crisp before chili crisp ever became a thing is Lao Gamma. And Lao Gamma is actually not made in Sichuan, China.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Lao Gamma is made in a province that is it's a neighboring province, but that cuisine of that province is not Sichuan at all.
Fascinating. Okay.
Maybe that's also why it's not as spicy.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
we use it in our LGM, but the flavor's great.
Yeah, the
But
flavor's
like you said,
great.
Right.
It doesn't have that much of a kick.
Exactly, and it's also it's not, it doesn't have as much Sichuan peppercorn and things like that. It's mostly the chilies, and peanuts. They have several variations of the sauces, but that would be back in the day. If you're asking my parents' generation, that's what they used. Now I think, with a lot of work, a lot of respect to Jing of Fly by Jing, she's really done the work to put chili crisp on the map and the American mindset. It's very impressive how she's done that. And I think, also Mama Fuku is another one that's often, if people name brands, but David Chang, he used his following as a vehicle to be able to get his chili crisp out there to people.
Got it. Okay. Yes. So now, well, that's cool to know. Would you like to start a restaurant?
So
following that, is that something that you've ever thought of doing?
I've certainly contemplated the idea.
Yeah,
I have friends
all the time when you do demos. Sorry to interrupt, but you do cooking every single time you do a demo here, and it's a full experience. Everybody's standing around.
Can I try it more?
I haven't thought about it for the immediate path of Madame Susan, perhaps a future path. A restaurant business is a little bit different than creating a consumer packaged good, which is what these products are.
Okay.
So perhaps it's not out of the question.
Okay.
But I think I would need to do some really good deep dive research because the restaurant business model is not something that I'm actually innately familiar with at the moment.
Well, we would love to have you over here as much as possible so you get to experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll be doing dishes.
We will.
So the mapo tofu has been such a hit with the customers today that, and we do bentos, right? And I have a hard time coming up with recipes constantly for these bentos. So by co-branding it with Madame Susan's, you get to taste and that was the whole purpose of a lot of what I make here is made with the products that we sell up front because it's like a cross sell. So it's also showing all of our customers how you can use the sauces. And that's why when you do the cooking demos, it definitely brings out their creativity. And then they will go on oh, I can totally make this and this and this. And then,
That's absolutely my goal. My goal is to create food for people so that it's not intimidating. And I like to take the guesswork out of seasoning, which is often the hardest part. And that was one of the motivations in creating my sauces.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for being here and your time with us. And thank you so much for the ice cream chili crisp idea that you came up with. I never would have thought to have done that. So now my mind is blown.
I'm so happy to be here and also to be able to share this with you. And I hope to come back to do more of this. It is my creativity, cooking, I like to call it my art. So yeah, I'm excited to do more. And I'm really grateful for you, Jen, to have created an outlet for entrepreneurs like us, to be able to showcase what we do. Because I think, with one of the biggest challenges of creating products and just creating anything is there's so much out there. How do we get the message through to people?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you so much again. All right.
Thanks you
for tuning in. To Moon Apothecary Radio. This is Green Room Bites, where we invite chefs, makers, and business owners, artists onto the show to try different snacks and show their goods. Well, tune in next time. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye.